Hi everybody, this is Soren Barr from Hennepin Resto Mods, and I'd like to introduce you to our 1950 Dodge Route Van Resto Mod. Years ago I heard a quote, I believe it was from Chip Foose, that basically said the greatest compliment you can get as a builder is for somebody to say, that looks cool, but what did you do? And one of the interesting things about Resto Mods is that there's really not a lot to show off. It's not shiny on the outside, it's not all brand new, it's not full of chrome. It really still looks like it's a 1950 Dodge Route van. But there's a lot about this truck that is not the way it's started. There's a lot of unique features on this truck and a lot of updates, and we're going to walk through a few of those in this video and a few more videos that we'll post a little bit later. So one of the cool features on this truck that looks stock but isn't is the lights. So it's a little hard to see because we're in the bright of the day here, but our lights are on in front. So the headlights are essentially stock, but we've updated these to fit H4 bulbs, European style bulbs, and these now have LED lights in them. The signal lights or parking lights below them would originally likely have been amber lights, but those have been updated now, so those are operating essentially as a daytime running light. So with the parking light on, you have a small white light. Again, they're LEDs. The lights on the bumper are not original to a truck, but this is how the truck came to us. So those lights have LEDs in them as well, but those function both as the parking lights and as the turn signals. On the body of the truck, you'll see that we've got some pretty cool old school marker lights. So these are original. They're glass lenses in those. We've got orange or amber on the side here, and on the back they're red. And those again are original to the body, not to Dodge necessarily. On the back we've got new lights. This came to us actually with some plastic trailer lights, not really great lights, not very attractive. And what we did is updated these. So we put some hot rod style lights on there that function as the brake lights, turn signals, and parking lights. And we've got an original old reverse light down here to show our reverse function. The inside of this truck looks pretty stock. So there's a fair number of components here in the interior that are in fact stock, that are from the original truck and from Dodge, and a fair number of parts that aren't. Obviously our chrome and black steering wheel, not original. However, the instrument cluster is original. The speedometer is original, now powered by a Speedbox GPS unit. The engine cover over here is original. And everything else is something that we've constructed new. To be able to fit this, the drivetrain in this engine, where originally we had a straight 6 on the passenger side of the engine to having a V8 in the middle, we had to rebuild a lot of this structure to fit over top of that engine. And so that's what we did. And basically what we've then done is built up the structure here to try to resemble as much as possible the original and really fit with what this truck was originally. So for the most part, you'd be a little hard pressed to really be able to tell that there's anything about this that isn't original unless you're truly a fan of the Route van and really understand that. The vents in here obviously are more modern. These have come out of the donor vehicle. But what this means is that we actually have adjustable vents in this vehicle running off of our heat. We've also got a really big glove box here. So all of the paperwork on this vehicle is in there. The original owner's manual for the donor is in there. And there's plenty of space in there to put all the paperwork that might come along with this truck. All of the switches are new. Most of the old ones were a little bit too rough to be able to safely use. And then we have the gauges over here. These again are new, but what we've done is replicate the shape of the original gauge cluster for the mount for these gauges. And then this truck has a genset in it. We've installed that and have a remote start right here on the side. So when this is likely outfitted as a food truck, you'll be able to basically push the button over here and start up the generator. And that's a nice, quiet own-in generator. So you can hear from here, it's not making a whole lot of noise, but there it is right there. The seats in this truck came from the donor. This is actually Silverado seats. One of the really nice things about these is they are manual, but they have built-in sliders from the factory, and they have the seat belts built into the seat itself. So we don't have to have a separate mount on that. So we've then mounted these on top of a pedestal mount, which means that the seats can recline, they can slide forward and back, and then on the inside there's a little lever that allows these seats to actually rotate. So while the truck is in operation, of course, these seats will function just as they did in the pickup, but when the vehicle is in use as a food truck or whatever its final use is, these seats could be rotated around and could be used as a seating area while you work or play in the back there. So this truck originally had a rear view mirror and two very large, very unsightly side view mirrors. And what we've done is updated that. So we have a small side view mirror on the driver's side, so that you have a real mirror there. But what we've done is install essentially backup cameras. So we've got 3 backup cameras on this truck. One in the center here that basically looks straight backwards, and one on either side that looks down the side of the vehicle. So from these 3 cameras, we have a almost full 180 degree view from the driver's position all the way around the back of the vehicle. There are no blind spots on this truck. And with the monitors mounted here centered to the driver, it's very easy to be able to just glance up at these, see if there's vehicles around you without having to look to the side or looking out the truck to mirrors, especially on the passenger side where that mirror may be 8 feet away. One of the set of details on this truck that's really hard to understand that we've even done anything is this corner back here. So there's 2 big features here, which you can clearly see on the side of the truck. One is the filler neck and the other is this door. And the door is the access panel to the generator. So with the generator here, to be able to start it manually from where it is, to be able to do any form of service, change the oil, you need to have access. So that cover door there will come off, and that gives you good access to the generator to be able to do any form of service you need. So this door opens up, we've got a prop rod there to hold it open, and essentially it's made of the side of the truck so it blends right in. The filler neck is basically recessed into the side. This filler neck obviously is a modern plastic filler neck that comes from our donor vehicle, but is recessed in and really designed to look like it's still a part of the original truck. So while this is not exciting, we're really happy with how this turned out and really happy with how this really makes the truck look very original. So here's really the meat of the work that we've done on this truck. Underneath the body, underneath what you can see, this truck is a 2002 Silverado 3500. It came to us as a flatbed style pickup. A cab was originally sold as a cab chassis truck that had high miles, but the engine had been replaced and had a bad transmission, but was provided with a new rebuilt transmission. So effectively this has a new engine and transmission in it, and we've updated quite a few of the parts on the chassis basically to keep them up to making sure that they're up to spec there as well. So, but what you'll see here in the engine compartment is that this very much looks like a Silverado. So all of the components are here. We have a Silverado radiator, Silverado radiator shroud and hoses. The intake, the mass airflow sensor, the air box are all stock from GM. We've simply added an elbow in here to adapt it. Even our coolant bottle over here is original from GM. The engine is entirely original. There is nothing that is not stock on there. Just a few updated components like that alternator. The ECM, the fuse box, the battery all sit essentially in the same locations they did when they were in the Silverado. And this has the original brakes, the Hydro Boost brake system for the 3500, and the original steering gear. The suspension underneath this is stock, except it's been modified with a DJM lowering kit. So we're a lot lower than we were originally to make up for the van body. But otherwise, the suspension underneath, the chassis underneath is essentially as it came from GM. The other thing that is modified on that suspension is on that chassis is the wheelbase. So to match the Dodge wheelbase, this truck has been shortened by 19.5 inches. I hope you enjoyed this tour of our 1950 Dodge Route Van Resto Mod. We've really enjoyed building this truck and are a little bit sad but still happy to see this thing going off to its back to its owner. If you'd like to know more about this project or others, please feel free to follow us on Facebook or Instagram, subscribe to our channel on YouTube, or give us a call or shoot us an email. You can find us at hennepinrestomods.com. Thanks, and we'll talk to you later.